Hi, I'm Hugh Emberson, CTO of StorReduce. Today I'm going to show you a demonstration of StorReduce Insight being used for malware detection. First, I'd like to set the scene. You are in a large enterprise. Perhaps you're the CIO or CSO, architect or IT manager. You have thousands or tens of thousands of systems that you need to protect from data loss and from the constantly evolving threat of malware. You have laptops, desktops, servers, databases, the list goes on. And these are spread across a number of offices and data centers across America or across the globe. These systems probably have virus scanners and malware detection systems running on them. You have firewalls and network intrusion systems protecting your network. But there are thousands of systems inside your network. How do you know your defenses are all working? How do you know that you are protected? Are all your firewalls working? Are all your virus scanners working? Did every employee follow your security policies? Are your intrusion systems working? StorReduce gives you a second line of defense against malware globally. The single point that every bit of data passes through every night is your backup system. It knows where every bit of your data in your network is stored. By using StorReduce Insight, you can select any best-of-breed malware detection services, pump your backup data through them in near real time to detect malware, identify how it got through your defenses, and trace back to the exact device and person who introduced it. This can be done because your backup system knows exactly where every bit of data came from and stores that information in the backup metadata. This does not replace all your existing security systems, but it does provide a single global protection layer against malware that also quickly identifies the source of an outbreak at petabyte to hundreds of petabytes scale. You already have an enterprise backup application like Veritas Net Backup, and possibly several backup applications. With StorReduce, you can point those applications at a StorReduce cluster and store your backups efficiently into a public, private, or hybrid object store using StorReduce's highly efficient scale-out deduplication. So that solves the data loss part of the equation. Your data is backed up efficiently in a highly durable, highly scalable, high-performance object store. But what about the malware part of the equation? How do you know that your other security systems are working? How do you know that you're not backing up malware? And if you do back it up, how do you trace back to the malware entry point in time and find patient zero? StorReduce Insight solves this. StorReduce Insight is an add-on to the StorReduce system. This is how it works. Every night, or more frequently, you back up all your systems via a backup application and store them via StorReduce. StorReduce deduplicates your backups and stores them into an object store. StorReduce Insight scans your backups, extracts the data and metadata from the backup files. The metadata usually includes the file names of the individual files, information about who created the files, when they were last accessed, etc. The data is the contents of the file. It is extracted as an ephemeral stream of bytes. It does not have to be stored anywhere. In this example, the data is streamed into a malware detection service and scanned for viruses, worms, ransomware, etc. As an aside, StorReduce Insight can send data to any system that can analyze the data and derive some knowledge from it. This demo is about malware. However, you can use any service you select to get benefit out of your backups with StorReduce Insight. You can use data loss prevention services, analytics services, sentiment analysis services, or you can search inside your data. We have demos of other services in the StorReduce YouTube channel. The malware detection service sends its results back to StorReduce Insight, stating if it found anything suspicious and what it found. StorReduce Insight then stores the report and the metadata into the Elasticsearch cluster. It's a tiny amount of data per file. You then generate a report that shows what malware was found, if any, where it was found, down to the system that is infected, the file that is infected, and who was using the system when that file was infected. If the malware has infected multiple systems, then by examining the dates and times, you may also be able to track down the original source of infection. In other words, find patient zero within your network. With this information, you can remedy the failure that led to the infection and ensure it doesn't happen again. You may also want to delete affected backups to ensure that malware doesn't come back again. Now, let's see StorReduce Insight in action. This is a Windows server running Veritas Net Backup. We've used this backup policy to back up the program files on this server. This is the StorReduce cluster that received those backups and stored them into an object store. Each of the folders contains backup information written by NetBackup. You can see over here that the data has been deduplicated and stored efficiently in the backend object store. This is the StorReduce Insight dashboard. In the background, StorReduce Insight has taken the data that was backed up and the associated metadata, sent the data to a malware detection service, and stored the results from the malware detection service along with other metadata into an Elasticsearch cluster. We can now search through all that metadata and see if any malware was in the backup. This query finds all the files in that backup. We can immediately see that a virus has been detected. Let's drill down and see what we can also find out. This is some of the metadata that has been stored about the file. We can see that it's a DLL, that it's part of Silverlight, that it was backed up from this server at this time. We could download the file by clicking on this link, but we won't because it contains a virus. Here we can see information that came from the virus scanner or malware detection system. We can see that the malware detected was XY1857. We made that one up because my team is scared of dealing with live viruses. We can see that the malware detection system used was ClamAV, and the scan happened on Friday, March 16th. Let's go back and see what else we can find out. This query shows all the malware that was found in that backup. And these are all the files that were not infected. These are all the files that were not scanned. It is good to see that there are none. But if for some reason the malware scanner had failed, we will be able to see it here. You are not limited to using StorReduce Insight to explore this data. You can use anything that understands how to query Elasticsearch, or you can write your own programs against the Elasticsearch REST API. For instance, here is Kibana showing the same data about the infected files. And if we drill down, we can see all the metadata that we have collected about each file, including the metadata from the malware detection system, the metadata from the backup application, and the metadata about the file, and much, much more. That's all for today. Please visit StorReduce.com to learn more or to get a free trial. Thank you.